Well, what are we doing today? We're staring at a laser cutter. Why? Because we have some orange plastic, or some orange on white acrylic. And this stuff's specifically designed for laser cutting. I've had some red stuff where I made some of these guys. And we had a power outage halfway through cutting, so I have these little extra bits on here. Anyway, these go in the tack plate holders on my Land Rovers, which I'll show you. Now, both my Land Rovers and my military trailer have tack plate holders designed for putting tack plates in that would indicate the task or the unit or whatever other information you might want displayed in there. There are ones on the rear, and I get tailgated in these. The 4x4, it'll do about 90-95 on the highway. It's not too bad. The Ambo, having a higher diff ratio, it tops out about 80. So I generally do 80 in both of these, just because things don't resonate well and I start using a bucket ton of fuel once I go beyond that, because these guys are about as aerodynamic as a brick. Anyway, this I put on the back here to indicate to people that I am not going slow just to piss them off. I'm going slow because there is a problem. My vehicle is slow. So I found, since I've instituted this, these signs, tailgating has been reduced, people are more civil, and they tend to take the opportunity to go around me in overtaking lanes instead of getting some kind of pointless grudge and getting up my rear end like a gerbil in the overtaking lane. So I posted some pictures of this on the Perentie groups, and a couple of blokes want them, so I'm going to cut some out of orange because this is all I could get, and hopefully we'll get one that looks a bit better than this. And this will also form as some channel filler, because I've done about 7 videos in one day and I'm going to fall in an absolute heap over Christmas. So this will be one of the scheduled videos you'll be seeing that are probably going to be at a rate of about 1 a day or thereabouts over the Christmas period. Anyway, to cut this we need to do several things. We need to fire up one of the several computers in here. That one is connected to the laser cutter. We then need to go around here and turn on both the laser cutter, the fan, and also the air compressor. Let's get our extraction fan running. Turn on the compressor, and then turn on the laser. And then we wait for everything to quieten down. Okay, we get our material positioned in here. Now, normally I would use these little square drive screws to hold things in. This stuff is quite flat and well behaved, probably because it's designed for this task. So what I am going to do, actually, normally we would cut with the scratch guard on there, but if we're doing text, it's a real nasty thing to peel off, so we're going to peel the scratch guard off, at least for this section. And the reason we have these two here is to check for, can we get 2 of them in there? So I think we will just. Alright, position carefully. The reason I stick this down is because if I have to stop this cut for any reason, I can resume it in exactly the same position. Alright, the other thing we need to do now is freehand move this and autofocus. That brings the bed up until it hits this autofocus pin, which will stop the focus. So if we go, it'll bring it up to the correct focal point of the laser, because it does have a collimating lens on it, and it does bring it to a focal point. Now we need to jump over to the computer and send our program to the laser. Alright, we have things up on AutoCAD here, and we're going to plot it to the laser cutter. And when you're talking about a CAD program, they were designed around sending it to pen plotters, so it's not print, it's actually plot. Alright, we're going to do 4mm off the corners, just so we get a nice square edge. Now this rotates at 90 degrees on the bed, so that is the orientation we want. And our bed is 635 by 458mm. Alright, it's a 1:1 scale, and it's all good. Let's do that, send the job over, and then we'll go make some refinements to the laser. Alright, the laser here is indicating our power and levels. We need to change some of this. So we're going to go to file management, we're going to edit the file. Now the raster setting, which is where it does things by lines, we want that to be way faster. So we want about probably 35 or 38% thereabouts. Let's go with about 36%. It's about somewhere in the middle. Smart Act, that means it economizes the width, it scans fast as it goes down. The vector setting, the setting I've told it to default to is 0.7. So we probably want to reduce that just by 0.1%. That makes a difference. Alright, go back. Alright, let's get some air happening. Alright, I need a better regulator for this, but we're just going to crack this valve just a tiny bit with a little bit of air. Oh, it's a bit too much. Just a tiny bit less. Alright. Now, we shut our lid. We go function and we recall it back to its center position. And now we go start that job. Now it's going to sit here and do the raster bit, and then it's going to cut the outlines. So I'm a bit off my game today. I positioned these, I tested the width that way, not that way. So this one is now going to hang off. So I'm going to ignore that. This orange stuff, the orange layer is a bit thicker than I had anticipated. The red stuff's got quite a thin layer. So I'm going to have to run another pass on these. So yeah, I'm going to get some air and blow this off a bit. And then we will we'll do another pass, clean it up. And then we'll cut another one off this section. Anyway, we'll see you with the magic of video in a couple of moments.
A few moments later.
Oh, it's a bit wet and windy at the moment. I'm gonna have to go rescue some stuff out of the back of the Corby. Not much I can do about that now. Just gonna have to deal with it after the fact. Alright, so in between rainstorms, now I looked at this stuff and realised it's actually adhesive backed, and it is actually orange on black. So that's fine, it wasn't a matter of how deep I was cutting. So I'm gonna go with about 20% raster on that. And we'll see the next one in a minute. Alright, we're in a much more quiet workspace now. And we're going to take some isopropyl alcohol. Give this all a good spray off. And a clean. That should bring out the colours a bit better. Alright, that should look much better. Much more contrasting. Cool. I'll take a photo of that and send it through to him. And the other one should be ready shortly. Alright, we're down to the final cut. And the last one, and we've had this piece of white stuff just pop out from somewhere. I'm hoping the air assist pushes that out of the way. A bit of a tense moment, I may have to pause it if it doesn't. Let's see, well, it looks like it's outside the track of that line. Let's see, we're looking right here. Is it going to blow that white thing out of the way? Looks like it doesn't need to. Alright, well this is the second one. So we'll wait for this to go through. We'll clean them up and we'll do a recap, and that'll be the end of the video. Alright, we are done. Right, pick this up with a piece of blue tack. You know it's cut through properly when you can pick it up like that. Alright, that's the next one. We've got to clean that up. The machine's shutting down. Let's go inside, hit this with some alcohol. Alright, this gives you a bit of a before and after of the isopropyl alcohol treatment. And note that I have to clean my keyboard on my desk each time after doing this because it leaves a black residue on everything. As you can see, it's all spread everywhere. And there is a vapor residue on the actual signs themselves as well. I might give the rear side a clean up as well, but they certainly come up cleaner. And there's a bit of cutting debris on here. In fact, I'm not even going to bother because that's on the paper that is with the adhesive backing. I don't think these are going to be adhered. They're going to get sent off to this bloke, and let's just call him Rusty, hey? And yeah, I'll just get slotted into tack plate holders. Wipe all this stuff off everything here. Alright, that's done. We now have 2 slow vehicle signs done. We'll get them sent off to Rusty, and that's pretty much it. We'll do something more exciting, but being the Christmas period, getting content out has been a bit of a hard slog. So we're going to just do this. This will be a scheduled one that'll pop up at some point. I don't know when. But anyway, if you're seeing it, you've seen it. So it's good. Let's move on and find something more interesting to do.